Hey, here's another tip for teen parents, all about those low second fingers. So there's confusion when it comes time for a child to play a low second finger versus a high second finger. So in this recording, I'm going to use the example of C sharps and C naturals. In my studio, we call the high twos the C sharps, the red twos, and blue twos for the C naturals or the low second fingers. So that's your little background information so I don't completely lose you. Now, studies show that babies and young children prefer whole tone music or music that's consonant, that sounds pleasing, that, to give an example, a lot of lullabies fall into this category. They do not really like dissonant sounds. And unfortunately, the distance between a C sharp and a C natural, we're talking about a half step here. It's very dissonant if you play those two notes together. So I just think that depending on where they are developmentally and their age, it might be difficult for them to hear the difference between that whole step and half step. So I think that's part of it. Listening to your recordings will really help kind of get that sound in there of that lowered second. Something else that happens is that to be able to know that you're doing something wrong, you have to be able to observe yourself while you're playing. That's a skill that needs to be developed. I find that if I play back to the student what they played to me, so if they need a lowered second finger, a blue 2 or a C natural, and they actually played a red 2, I find that if I play it back to them the way they played it incorrectly, you see that moment on their face where they're like, whoa, that's definitely not the way it's supposed to sound. And I think that happens because they're not actually listening to themselves while they're playing. So that's something that needs to be developed. But if you play it back to them, then they understand it better. If you record them playing, especially if you make a video, it's really helpful because they can watch themselves play and see and listen and observe. And then they can realize what they're doing wrong and make that adjustment. But it's really difficult. That's another skill that has to be developed to be able to do that while you're playing. Observe and make adjustments. So that's kind of a middle step there, is to have them observe themselves through watching themselves play. The other thing is, I think, how we're hardwired to perceive high and low or near and far. So if you watched my video on bow direction confusion, I think this also plays into the second finger. So I have found that most students are hardwired to think this way, moving away from your body, from your center of gravity, is higher, and coming in is lower. Now on the string instrument, you know that's backwards. If you come up this way, you're going higher in pitch, and lower is this way in pitch. So you're working against that kind of natural hardwiring. You have to teach it the other way, kind of teach it out of them. So when you tell a student to go higher, okay, if we're already here, or lower, if you're telling the student to go lower and you're already here with a nice red 2, a high second finger, that C sharp, and they think that this way is lower, then you're definitely going the wrong way. This way is lower. So for that C natural, we want the 1 and the 2 to be close together. C sharp has the space. So I think that is part of why it gets confusing. So I hope that helps you understand what's going on behind all of that and how to sort of help with that situation. So thanks for watching.